Ferrari is ready to unveil its latest creation. In Formula One, after the long winter wait, some teams have already showcased their cars for the 2025 season, ahead of the London event scheduled today at the O2 Arena. Among them, surprisingly, stands out the reigning world champion McLaren, which, in a camouflage livery, completed a few laps at a cold and wet Silverstone circuit. We are talking about the MCL-39, the car that carries the heavy legacy of the vehicle which brought the Formula One title back to Woking after more than a quarter of a century. The first technical analyses of the McLaren have highlighted diametrically opposed approaches in the development of new technical projects. It is necessary to clarify that what we will see in the coming weeks may still be provisional specifications set to evolve already during the collective pre-season testing session at the 5.412-kilometer Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir, scheduled to take place from February 26th to 28th. With this necessary premise, 2025, being the last Formula One season under the current regulatory framework, could see various teams adopting different strategic approaches. On one hand, there is the logical evolution of last season's project, on the other, a certain discontinuity with aggressive new solutions. Despite McLaren proving to be, on average, the best in class in 2024, the MCL-39, despite its camouflage livery, does not seem to be a natural evolution of the 2024 car, unlike the Williams FW-47, which has not particularly stood out. The car of Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, in the specifications seen during the Silverstone shakedown, did not appear significantly different from the rather disappointing FW-46, which took to the track last year. This is considering that the true evolutionary step has been achieved through a significant weight reduction, close to 10 kilograms. This demonstrates that an aggressive design approach does not necessarily correspond to an innovative or extreme aerodynamic concept. Among the top teams, Red Bull will likely be forced to choose the path of discontinuity. Even before last season began, legendary car designer Adrian Newey feared that the RB20 single-seater had been designed too conservatively. Not at all surprisingly, the prophecy of the brilliant English designer came true precisely, and after an initial period of dominance, Max Verstappen had to perform miracles to secure his fourth consecutive world title. The aerodynamic concept introduced in 2022 with the RB18 has shown no further room for development. Despite the introduction of the version without the so-called bazookas, the Milton Keynes car endured a nightmare end to the season, except for Max Verstappen's masterpiece at the Brazilian Grand Prix in the Interlagos downpour and the Dutch champion's unexpected victory in Qatar. According to Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur, the SF-25 single-seater should bear little resemblance to last season's car, which still performed well. It appears certain that the car of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton will transition from a pushrod to a pull-rod front suspension configuration. This is a significant suspension change in terms of kinematics, which, if confirmed, will have repercussions on how the car's aerodynamic philosophy is managed. Under this aspect, one assumption seems reasonable. The Maranello team may have realized that continuing along the path set by the SF-24 would not have allowed them to extract further potential from the car. After all, Ferrari was overall inferior to Red Bull in the first part of the season, and to McLaren from Miami onward. The 5 victories achieved were certainly not coincidental, but only at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas did the SF-24 appear dominant. Monaco is a circuit that provides no real indication of a car's quality, while in the other wins, McLaren's uncapitalized superiority opened the door to Ferrari's success. Ultimately, for the historic Italian team, it was crucial to leave nothing to chance and push as much as possible in every aspect of the car. During the design phase of the SF-25 car, the Ferrari technicians and engineers did not have a competitive advantage that would allow them to carry over most of the strengths of the previous car to the new one, which will soon be revealed on social media. To aim for success, Frédéric Vasseur's engineers had to take risks, as the natural development of the 2024 car likely would not have been enough to fight at the top. Looking ahead to tonight's event, Formula One is set to host the first-ever season launch party in London. Officially called F175 Live at the O2, the event marks the beginning of the sport's 75th season. At the center of the event, all 10 F1 teams will take turns unveiling their 2025 liveries, as some will also reveal their new cars separately on stage in a massive arena and in front of a global audience of millions. The O2 Arena is a large multi-purpose venue located in East London, next to the River Thames. With a seating capacity of 20,000, it is the third largest indoor venue in the UK. Originally named the Millennium Dome, that name quickly became a white elephant until communications company O2 took over the sponsorship. Regardless of the name, the arena was, in 2023, the third most attended venue in the world, behind Madison Square Garden in New York and the Movistar Arena in Chile. This means Formula One has not cut corners when it comes to the event location. Since this is the first event of its kind, the only concrete details available are those provided by Formula One itself. Traditionally, each team presents its new cars in its own way, on track with a select group of media, or more recently, and more boringly, via an email or a social media post, with a few images of the new car's livery and some driver quotes. This time, Formula One has stepped in to bring all the teams together for a single evening in London, in front of a live audience, with musical performances, streamed for free. Although the event is meant to celebrate F1's 75th anniversary, think of F175. Live more as an opening ceremony than a birthday party. Most importantly, this is Formula One's opportunity to build, and possibly better control, the biggest moment before the cars hit the track for pre-season testing. By turning the usual livery launches into a spectacle, F1 has created a sort of 25th event for the public in an already packed racing calendar. Additionally, with musical performances, which we'll get to shortly, there is an opportunity to do something a bit more open and globally pop culture-oriented than the usual race weekend focus. On Monday, F1 announced the event's musical lineup, and the program is quite diverse. It includes American country singer Kane Brown and rapper MGK, formerly known as Machine Gun Kelly, who had a famous exchange with Sky F1's Martin Brundle during the 2023 Sao Paulo Grand Prix. British pop legends Take That will also perform, currently appearing as a trio without Robbie Williams. Composer Brian Tyler, who created the F1 theme, will provide the musical backdrop as well. All 20 drivers, the team principals, and of course, the F1 cars will be present. Each team will have a 7-minute segment on the O2 stage to do whatever they want, meaning we can expect a variety of interpretations for the livery launches. It's worth noting that before F175 Live, we have already seen Williams and McLaren unveil their car designs, but not the liveries they will use. For the other 8 teams, everything we'll see will be brand new. The order of appearances will be the reverse of last season's Constructors' Championship standings, meaning the evening will start with Sauber and end with McLaren. Doing the math, 10 teams multiplied by 7 minutes each isn't enough to fill a 5-hour arena event. But that is where the host and musical performances come in.